So before getting a degree, I had job. I had full-time
Wow.
job. Whenever you are going into interview, you have to prove that you know about them more than they know about themselves.
That I can imagine you getting up and going after 3 a.m.
I mean, my father still said to me that don't do that job. But I was like, you have to do work, and I didn't want to be dependent on them.
This is not what I'm here for, but I need to pay my bills. And you having that grit that, whatever it comes, I will make sure it happens. That is one thing which is consistent. All the conversation with people who are doing full-time job, that everyone has a very clear vision.
If you want to find job or some later after your course, first do something volunteer, gain some experience. If you are not getting any part-time in your particular field, at least upskill.
Because see guys, it is so important what Ishwari is saying is because if you don't have relevant skills in the UK context and relevant experience in the UK context, then it will be much more difficult for you to find a part-time in your domain or a full-time in your domain. So guys, that is Ishwari. She's been sharing all the beautiful, wonderful information about how she came from Pune to UK to study at University of Birmingham. What all did she do? What kind of part-time jobs, internships, volunteering, and then now doing her full-time jobs. And if you want to continue watching this, before you do, subscribe to our channel so that you can connect with us and stay updated with many more such conversations.
If you are looking to study abroad, then watch this full video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated.
If you work part-time, if you did any internship, volunteership during your studies?
I was hoping for that question. I wanted to answer that question because I wanted to express my journey and tell genuinely to the audience how it is. So how I started, when I landed here, my first goal was to get a part-time job because that's what I've heard from people, you have to get a part-time job. And I've applied. I mean, even getting a part-time job was a big task because you have to apply and there are interviews. You have to give interviews to just serve food and everything, and it's ridiculous. I have
and you are remembering that taxi guy who got you from...
I have engineering degree because there's I have an engineering degree and I have to prove myself if I can serve to people or not. And I'm okay, but I still, because you obviously need money to survive here and for your expenses. So I've started finding for jobs and everything, part-time jobs, and even my resume from since then. But then I realized whatever experience I have right now, I can't get into marketing unless I have some kind of experience. Obviously, I started finding for jobs, but it was not working. You can't get job unless you have a degree. So it was just for my sake of that I wanted to learn how interviews are here and everything, how they screen and everything, that stuff. Then I got a part-time after a lot of struggle, but in university itself, and that was very difficult because my shift used to be at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I had to go, it was in university, but I had to, it was a dusting and cleaning job. I've started from there, I'll be genuine. In university itself, but I had to go 3 a.m. in the morning and do the cleaning and stuff.
So it was a cleaning job?
Yeah, it was a cleaning job. But
where was it? Where did
University Sports Center.
The University Sports Center.
So it was kind of a safe area because I didn't want, my parents told me don't go in unsafe area. At 3 a.m. My father still said to me that don't do that job, but I was you have to do work, and I didn't want to be dependent on them. So I was I need money, I can't ask my parents again and again. So I was okay, let's do a job, let's get an even it was a cleaning job. What matters is I got experience while I was not confident while talking to British people, and they were all British people, and when I was working with them and conversing with them, it was kind of a good experience for me that I'm still conscious about my English. So but still I went there, and it was kind of you get some of the knowledge about how is UK and everything from them. But then there was that, then I had to go to universities to do my lectures after that, because it used to end at 8:30 or something, and my lectures used to start around 9. So I had to, then I used to go back to lectures, and I used to come back and cook for myself. This was going for 2-3 months, but then I realized I'm not gaining anything particularly to my field. And obviously getting a part-time in your specialization. I mean, if you have a good experience, like a lot of experience in India, sometimes here it doesn't matter. Some companies will consider it, but mostly people, they don't consider here. Even if you have like 10 years of experience, you want to apply, they will consider you as a fresher. So there was that. I don't have any experience. So what I decided, like I'll have a job which pays my bills and everything. Then I did volunteer stuff. So I just outreach one company on LinkedIn, and I said like I just want to learn. I need experience, and I want to do a volunteering kind of stuff here. So they agreed, and I was like digital marketing assistant there. So I worked and I gained experience, and then I had to go to London. Like I had opportunity of going to London and host like events there for them. So I started like that.
So they trusted you even though they were not paying you. Yeah. So they trusted you with the responsibility.
Yeah. So it was like I was juggling with two jobs there, like one that cleaning job and this was what for my experience. It was a good decision, and even if someone comes here, I would say if you want to find job or some like later after your course, first do something volunteer, like gain some experience. If you are not getting any part-time in your particular field, at least upskill. Yeah,
because see guys, it is so important what Ishwari is saying, is because if you don't have relevant skills in the UK context and relevant experience in the UK context, then it will be much more difficult for you to find a part-time in your domain or a full-time in your domain. Many times we think that we are going to work so hard and we have to do lectures, we have to do part-time cook for yourself, and then I also do volunteering. But then if you are not doing it, if you are not pushing yourself at that time, you are going to miss out on your future.
Yeah, so you have to push. Like if you come here, like be prepared. Obviously, students who come here, they have like two options. They either go for CAT exams and prepare for them, like entrance exams, and come here. And sometimes students feel that coming here is like a safer option, and
easier
option or something. But it's not easy. You have it is like you need like mental and physical strength both to come here and do everything, because it's like when adulthood hits you here, because you have to do your parents' job as well. And you're taking care of yourself, pay bills and everything. You become.
I'm not sure if you ever cleaned in your house.
I mean, I used to do, like I used to live alone, but yeah, you still have maids there and everything. I mean, here, like at work, I do tell my colleagues that you don't know how good it is in India to get like cheap labor.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. But then I did the volunteer stuff and everything, and it helped me to gain skills. Then
who guided you to do volunteership?
I did it myself because I was finding part-time, and in my field I wanted to switch the part-time, but I was not getting it because what experience I'm gonna show them. And even if let's say if someone fakes it, they ask you such questions that if you don't know, you can't answer it. And they have their own terms and everything. When you come here and you gain experience here, you get to know those terms, and then you become more confident like how to tackle that questions which they ask. So I was doing that, and that helped me a lot. Then I think then it was my second sem going on, and then we have to choose between dissertation and company project. So I was like, before selecting the modules and everything, the one thing that attracted me most was the company project, because I was like, it's gonna be like an experience, it's gonna be in my CV, and I want that. Little did I know that you need grades. Like when I in the first sem, then we got to know that you have to maintain your grades. You don't have to like fail in subjects or in your assignments, basically, because assignments are also a very tedious task. People say like we have chat GPT here and you can just chat GPT. No, you can't, because they check very strictly. You can't use AI. You have to do your research, you have to do your homework, everything. And then
if you're caught, then you can be debarred
like bye UK.
Failed,
so it's like that. So it's tough. You have to do your research, you have to know your stuff.
So guys, let's take a small pause and let me tell you that I counsel hundreds of students looking to study abroad every month. And I am here to help you guys, not just with understanding your profile, which country or university is the best one for you, but help you through the admission process. And me and my team will get you your visa on time. And if you want a one-on-one counseling session with me, please go into the description. There is a link to my Calendly, and you can book a one-on-one slot with me. And let's get back to our video now.
But then I maintained my grades. Luckily I maintained my grades, my assignments with
I was hoping
2
for that,
part-times and everything. I conquered it, and I was. But then even for company project, it is similar. Like you have to, as you apply for jobs, you have to apply, send them CV. You have to tell them why are they your first choice, second choice. You have to pick 3 companies. They give you a list if you want to do a company project, and if you are lucky, you get your first choice. Otherwise, because obviously everyone competes for their first choice, and then there are like Sony and some big marketing agencies you get to work with. Yeah, but I was from electronics background, and somewhere, even if I switched my fields, I had still like a soft corner. I loved like electronics engineering. And then there was this company, Monta. They have like charging management software for the electric cars. It fancied me because it was there in my course back then, and the electric cars and everything. And it's something new. I wanted to do marketing in field such, domain which is gonna contribute in future, because electric cars is a buzz and everything. And if I know some stuff about it, I thought I might get a job in some technical company as well, and I get to do both the things, like marketing and my technical ability. So I applied for that, and then it was like 6 months kind of a thing that you have to work with them, understand everything. So I was like a product marketing intern for them, and I got to know how it was in Denmark, but remotely we had to do it here. I got a lot of experience there as well in product marketing and stuff.
You did like 1 semester of actual courses. 1 semester was
the only time I was jobless was like September, October, November, and in December I think I started that volunteer stuff, and after that I got that cleaning job and everything, because I was applying for part-time and everything. But then this happened, like company project and stuff, then you have to work with them. So that time the contract got over, and I had to juggle with my company project and then that volunteer job.
And the company project was paid?
No, it's not paid.
It's not paid.
But it's for experience. So it's like gain experience as you are in your course.
A lot of students make this choice based on how much money I'm going to get today. आज का पैसा कितना मिलेगा? That's the only question in my head. But you are investing in your future. You have already invested so much money, and for such short-term benefit, you can ruin everything.
Have patience. I would suggest, if you try to get job in your specialized field, if you have connections here. For me, I didn't have any. I had to figure it out myself. But if I had someone to guide, I would suggest them the same. If you are not getting job, get a job part-time for the bills and stuff. But do some volunteering. Do some extra courses, because you have to do it. Even if you are doing your degree in university, you have to do something extra to prove yourself. So or even join some university programs, because they do have that. So you can volunteer there as well, and sometimes they are paid. So if you are lucky, you get a job in university itself. So there was that. Then I did that. Then the company. Then I didn't have money, so my both jobs were not paying me at this current point during June, July sort of time. And I was like, I was so stressed, because I was used to working and getting paid in pounds, and it was stressing me a lot that I don't have pounds, and I had to do the exchange, and it was the rate of pound is how much. So my savings got over and everything, and now I was like, I have to find another job which pays my bill. I had to struggle a lot to find, but my second part-time was in my field. I got a job as a marketing manager in a company who was into telecommunications. So I got job there.
You were doing volunteering as a social media analyst. Then you did a company in Denmark, but you were working with them remotely. That's another 6 months. And in the middle of this, you did another now paid part-time.
Paid part-time. It was from I guess end of July or
end of July.
Yes. I mean, I got the job because I was searching. Day, night I used to apply. I mean, there was only one thing going in my mind, like I need a job right now to pay my bills.
So your volunteership and your company project were going on simultaneously,
and
then the part-time project part-time job also.
I had to apply. So it was a lot of struggle for me. Then I got a job there, but for that job as well, I had to prove myself, because it was like 15 minutes of interview first, and I thought, okay, I'll give it. When I was doing the volunteer stuff and everything and product marketing and stuff, so it was based on my grades and past experience, because that was software consultancy, so they knew that I had skills. But this time I have seen your CV. Prove yourself. Show me your portfolio. I know there was a portfolio kind of stuff, but I never thought like I had to make one right now. I did stuff, but I thought like now I have to gather everything what I have done, and I took it as a challenge. I asked him to like give me 2 days, and it was like in-person interview afterward. I think in one day I made a website on Canva. I had all my projects and recommendation letters and everything from my previous company and what I was doing and everything. That impressed him a lot, and he was like, oh, you did it in one day. I'm like, yeah, I tried my best. You asked for it. So he was really impressed. But yeah, but again, you have to do like reach out to him, because these interviewers like tend to forget
you. Yeah.
But the thing is, when I had my first interview and I had to like meet him, he gave me his number. So there was no email or something for I think 3-4 days after my in-person interview, and I knew I impressed him, and I knew I was a good candidate. But then he didn't come back. Then I was stressing again, and then I messaged or emailed him. He was impressed by that I took so much efforts, and I was keen to get a job, that I was passionate to work with that company, that
you were persistent to follow up.
I mean, you have to, when you are applying to jobs, you have to prove those company that their company is your passion. Like your only goal in life was to work for them. You have to be in that mindset when you are applying for a job. And then I had that job, which was again paying my bills as well and gaining me experience. I was marketing.
So you were doing all three together at a point in time? The volunteership, the part-time?
So I left the volunteership because obviously I got this job which was in my field and was paying my bills. So I was like, okay, let's leave the volunteering stuff. But the volunteering stuff was good because it gave me exposure to public speaking and everything. So it was a good thing. And then this was company project. So it was very difficult because company project has like a lot of weightage in your grades and stuff. And then this part-time. And on top of it, I had to shift my house because my contract ended. So at one point it was my one job, my company project for getting a degree, because what's the use of my part-time or experience if I don't have a degree? And then I had to shift again. But glad if you have good friends here. I mean, friends make your life a lot easy. So make good friends here
good
as
friends,
well.
Guys.
Yeah, when you come here, at least try to find good people here who can help you.
Good people who are as ambitious as you are, who are looking for the same things in life.
And particularly if they are not jealous of you or not see you as a competitor.
Because, that's also happens, right?
Because it's a lot of competition. Luckily, most of my friends were from another
course, another branch, unrelated.
But I still got like one good friend in my course. She also helped me a lot in marketing. So she had experience in marketing, and I got to learn a lot from her because she had previous experience, and then she told me about stuff and everything. So it was a good inspiration for me. So there's that. And then I was doing that, but then my degree, I submitted my company project. Then again.
How did your company that you finished the project with, how did they like your work? What was their feedback?
They were like impressed. I mean, you had to do a presentation and submit a report. Most of the weightage is not, I think, in their hand, like in companies, and it's mostly university who
so the university also looks at your work and
but it's majorly university. The companies, I don't think they play a major part, but they play a part. You can get a recommendation letter from them. You can connect them from on LinkedIn and show them that you work for them and ask them for recommendations on LinkedIn as well. It helps because that was, I think I asked for the one who was managing the head of marketing there. I asked her for recommendation. She gave me one, and
that's the testimony, right? That they liked what you did and they were willing to give you a recommendation for it.
Exactly. So but then now it's time to find a full-time job because now everyone, I mean, I didn't have my grades, but you have submitted your final assignment and you have that period in between when everyone is like, now we need a full-time job, and your grades are not out and everything. As I told you, I was looking for full-time within my course as well. I used to segregate like what jobs I want to do as a part-time, how much time I want to give to like full-time jobs. If you get a full-time job while you are doing a course, good for you. But still, if you don't have a degree, you can't get a full-time job. But sometimes if companies are good, you can ask them like, let me work and then I have my degree, then I'll shift to PSW and everything. So sometimes they agree, but mostly they don't. But you get paid for those interviews that your degree. I mean, when you're doing applying stuff, you get some calls of interviews and you get exposure like how is your interview gonna happen. Obviously, you get rejection because you don't have PSW. They don't accept you on student visa, and plus you don't have a degree completed. The grades are not there, so they don't take you. But yeah, you get experience how interviews happen. Getting shortlisted for your resume, it's also a big thing. So if your resume is working, people are viewing it, take it as a win as well. There is this student consultant program as well in the university, career counseling basically. So I had to consult with them about my cover letter, my resume, and I had like 2-3 meetings with them, and they guide you how it's in UK and everything. But they can't do much. You have to rigorously
they can't do it for you. They can give you the guidelines. They can share best practices.
Some templates with you. You have to do it. Go for careers counseling. It's free in your university.
It's available,
and they guide you well. So you can take that as well. But then there was that period you have to find a full-time job. So I gave like few interviews. There was some jobs which I really wanted, but the interviewer didn't show up.
That also happens.
That happens. One time it was like they cancelled. I was sitting there prepared, and it was my dream role at that point, and they were like, we no longer need that position, and sorry for everything. And it's very heartbreaking. It happens, and sometimes you do interview and you think, we have cracked it, and it's like they have chose another candidate, and you have like thousands of unfortunately emails in your inboxes, and it's very demotivating at that point. You feel like, let's go back at home and we'll do something. Hold on. I mean, still, like, don't give up at that point, I would say. So then I got this interview again, the same thing. When you give so much introductory interviews, it kind of like the dialogues and everything, and you just speak. So first interview you can crack, like the introductory which they take. But there is always gonna be a second interview, like for marketing, which like good marketing companies, they ask you for a presentation. Now they like expect everything, the strategy. So when you are applying for a job, as you were saying, like which course, it doesn't matter it is strategic or it's like if they think you have a degree in marketing or if you are applied for a role, they would expect you to do the strategic stuff, do the creative stuff, everything. If you are
so they are looking for what they need. They don't care about what you know. Like, if you know what we need, then it's good.
I had to do a presentation for them, and I think it was Diwali period, and I couldn't go home because of that as well, because I was applying and the interview was lined up.
What was the presentation about?
So they wanted me to give them a marketing strategy, or entire, not even marketing, like a general strategy for how they are gonna achieve 10 million in next quarter. Next year, financial year.
Which company is this, by the way?
So I work for Rayblock, and
for Rayblock.
And I love my company, to be honest. I love working there. But I was nervous at the start. I didn't know how, because the company I used to work was like, they were the marketing managers, they were Asian, but like British Pakistani people, but they were good, but they have some cultural similarities and you have something to talk about. Now it was like British company, and now I don't know their jokes, know their slangs or anything. And I was so stressed, and at that point all of my friends went to India, and I was mostly alone preparing for the stuff, like I want to get a job. I was not confident about the presentation, like how to present, so even I went for the career counseling thing, and I presented in front of my university people, like in front of them, and they guided me like where I need to improve my pronunciation, how I need to like shift my slides, which part I need to cover first and everything. So they guided me in that, and then I went for interview, and I was their last candidate, and they told me afterwards, now they just joke about it, and they tell me like we didn't expect that, they already have they had selected one person and they were like, okay, it's final. Let's see who is this and everything.
Since you have waited there whole day.
Yeah, and it was, I think it was Thursday or Friday. It was Friday, and I'm like,
you were the one between them and the party.
Yeah. And they were like, we already had selected one candidate, but we thought like, let's see what you have to bring on on the table. And then I presented. They loved my experience. Like, I'm not even bragging, but I really put lot of efforts in that, because that was the full-time job. I reached till final round, and when you reach till final round, it's very, you know, stressful, because it's like I've reached there, and now what if I get rejected and everything. And when I was preparing, everything was going in my mind like, what if I get rejected and everything. And that time I'm gonna do my part. I'm not gonna think about the out. Let's do it. And I had to
easier said than done.
Yeah, I had to be very mentally prepared at that time. I gave the interview, and fortunately they called me next day and they were like, we would be glad to offer you the job. We loved your presentation and everything. So I got this. So before getting a degree, I had a job. I had full-time job.
Wow. So, and what role exactly did you
so it was
applied for?
Marketing executive.
Marketing executive.
Yeah.
What does your role, what do you need to do in your role?
Basically everything in marketing. It's not like I have any particular set of roles, but everything that comes under, I am basically the marketing department.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a marketing manager, but mostly the content strategy and everything. Giving the strategy, like I do have meeting with CEOs and founders and them, and I get ideas from. Initially, I was you know, that you don't have experience. I was very shy and I was not confident. And like, what I'm gonna do? I was very scared. And my first day, I was like horrible. I was like 15 minutes late, and it was like I can't do this, and it was very difficult at start, because when you go into marketing, because you have to start here and they expect everything from you. You can't make excuses or everything. You have to know email, you have to know content, you have to like social media stuff.
When in email, you mean email marketing?
Email marketing stuff, like email campaigns, email automations, and they had like few other softwares as well, like marketing there, and then SEOs, blogs and everything. So it's a very reactive field. I have to do new things every day. So first I was scared of that, but now I'm loving it. Loving. I love to go to. I didn't say this earlier, like for any of my job, like to this time I wake up and I'm happy to go to job, because I have something to do, like
something
new thing to do. It's a radiation shielding company, so obviously all of my knowledge, every bit of my knowledge is getting used, because electronic stuff, so I have to, like the radiation rays and everything, there's that. Then automation stuff, I have to do some kind of like process automation as well, so I get to do that. So the thing is, when they like you, they give you a freedom to do whatever. Like
you need to gain the trust, and then
you have to gain their trust initially. You have to show them that you are passionate about the company. You know about the company more than them.
Yes.
Basically, in interview, whenever you are going into interview, you have to prove that you know about them more than they know about themselves.
So guys, that is Ishwari. She's been sharing all the beautiful, wonderful information about how she came from Pune to UK to study at University of Birmingham. What all did she do? What kind of part-time jobs, internships, volunteering, and then now doing her full-time jobs. And if you want to continue watching this, before you do, subscribe to our channel so that you can connect with us and stay updated with many more such conversations. So Ishwari, you're feeling this conversation, this whole story, you know, that I can imagine you getting up and going after 3 a.m. doing that cleaning job, still having that dream in my mind that, this is not what I'm here for, but I need to pay my bills. And you having that grit that, whatever it comes, I will make sure it happens. That is one thing which is consistent. All the conversations with people who are doing full-time job, that everyone has a very clear vision. You got a cleaning job, money started coming in, the dreams didn't change.
Yeah.
The thought process didn't stop. It meant that, okay, this is there. One problem is solved, but the real problem is building a career.
Yeah, because I mean, it was like when people were sleeping, I was doing extra stuff and extra like upskilling and stuff. And
the family, they were going back home for Diwali.
Yeah,
and
I stayed for like, I really, because even my course was over, I submitted my assignment. I was in UK because I didn't want to give up because I think that's the peak hiring time, and I was like, no, I can't go back. And I missed one Diwali and I didn't get chance to go, so I was mostly alone. One of my friend visited me, but he also got a job, so he was also with that year mindset and he also got the job.
So if you like this content, please subscribe to our channel and I will see you all in the next video.